15,000 rise to applaud teenage racing ace who walked on stage after having both legs amputated. 15,000 teary-eyed sports stars and sports fans rose to their feet as tonight to applaud the bravery of a tenacious young racing driver. Billy Monger received a rapturous standing ovation from the Genting Arena of Birmingham's NEC at the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Awards, as he walked on the stage to pick up the first accolade of the evening. He made his own way up to pick up the Helen Rollason Award despite having had both his legs amputated last April following a horrific crash when he was just 17. Despite surviving the smash at Donington Park in April 2017, his life-saving surgeries cost him his legs and ended his dreams of being a Formula One world champion. Incredibly though, the young man fought back bravely and was able to make a return to the sport with awe-inspiring speed, becoming a Formula 3 driver and finishing third in this year's championships. After his crash last year, Monger was stuck in his vehicle for 90 minutes until he could be airlifted to a hospital in Nottingham, but tragically medics could not save his legs. The BBC Sports Personality of the Year Helen Rollason Award is given annually for outstanding achievement in the face of adversity. Previous winners include Paralympic legend Stanley Gray Thompson for her multiple success at the 2000 Games and the competitors of the inaugural Invictus Games in 2014, the global sporting competition for injured servicemen and women. It is not always given to sportsmen and women for their achievements in their own field. In 2003 Michael Watson won the award for completing the London Marathon, a feat which took him 6 days. In 1991, middleweight boxer Watson was paralyzed and almost killed in a title bout with Chris Eubank. The winner each year is selected by BBC Sport. The award is named after the BBC Sports presenter Helen Rollason, who died in August 1999 at the age of 43 after suffering from cancer for 2 years. She was the first female presenter of Grandstand, and following her cancer diagnosis she helped raise over £5 million to set up a cancer wing at the North Middlesex Hospital, where she received most of her treatment. His mother Amanda said the crash was all your nightmares rolled into one, but the hospital staff had helped them through it. The incident shook the motorsport community and led to a fundraising campaign for his rehabilitation and recovery that raised more than £800,000. The beaming teenager was given his award by Formula One legend and Spody 2018 nominee Lewis Hamilton, who grinned and hugged him on stage. Billy, from Gatwick, was into kart racing from a young age and competed all over the UK before he joined the F4 British Championship. Known as Billy the Whiz, he moved to the big leagues in 2016 and took 3 podiums, finishing 12th. But on April 16, 2017, he was involved in what was described as one of British motorsport's most horrific crashes, resulting in a double leg amputation. Defeating all odds, Billy walked part of the track where he crashed into another car on prosthetic legs just months later. In his speech tonight the young man thanked his mum and dad, adding that he would have raced whether they told him to or not. Earlier tonight the BBC announced Harry Kane, Dinah Asher-Smith, James Anderson, Geraint Thomas, Lewis Hamilton and Lizzie Arnold are this year's Sports Personality of the Year award contenders. The sporting stars were selected by a BBC Spotty panel and the winner will be announced after a public vote later in the night. The BBC had denied fans the chance to campaign for their favorite sports star by concealing the shortlist for Sport Personality of the Year until tonight's live show in Birmingham. Throughout the night, the contenders talked about the motivations that have driven them to achieving their outstanding levels of success. Tyson Fury was the big omission when the nominees for this year's award were announced. The heavyweight was the bookmakers' 4th favorite for the prize after his dramatic draw with Deontay Wilder earlier this month but failed to make the short list of 6. Harry Kane, Dinah Asher-Smith, James Anderson, Geraint Thomas, Lewis Hamilton and Lizzie Arnold have been picked by a panel as this year's Sports Personality of the Year award contenders. Harry Kane played at the 2018 World Cup in Russia, captaining England to their 3rd semi-final in history. The 25-year-old won the Golden Boot, finishing as the top goal scorer in the competition. He became only the second English player to do so, after Gary Lineker in 1986. Dinah Asher-Smith 23, is in the running to become the first female to win the Gong since Zara Phillips in 2006. The bookmakers have her as one of the favorites after she became the first British track and field star to claim a treble of gold medals at a major championships. Millions watched her performances on the BBC, transforming her into a star and role model. Geraint Thomas became the first Welshman to triumph in the Tour de France this year. Thomas, 32, was the third British rider to win the race and the sixth in 7 years. He'd been cycling in the shadow of Team Sky teammate Chris Froome up until his victory. It marks a remarkable comeback for the Welshman after he crashed out at the 9th stage after suffering a broken collarbone last year. Lizzie Arnold with consecutive Olympic gold medals in 2014 and 2018. Lizzie Arnold is the most successful British Winter Olympian and the most successful Olympic skeleton athlete of all time from any nation. The 30-year-old was selected to be one of the 2 women skeleton drivers representing Britain at the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. She went on to become the first person to defend an Olympic gold in skeleton and the first British athlete to defend a Winter Olympic title. Veteran England fast bowler James Anderson has been a leading light in Test cricket for many years now. This season, he became the fast bowler with the most wickets in the history of Test cricket. The 36-year-old has never been nominated for the award before and many fans will see this as fair reward for a record-breaking career. Lewis Hamilton, 33, became a 5-time Formula One world champion this year after another spectacular season. He is a previous winner of the prestigious Spodie Award, receiving it in 2014. Hamilton is hoping to go on and emulate the legendary Michael Schumacher, who is currently the only driver to have 7 world championships.